Abby wants an intro. And she's quiet. For once.
Look.
Wait, I can't see. Wow.
Don't jinx it. ASMR.
Hey guys, welcome back to Two Broads with your two favorite broads. I'm Kayla.
I'm Jenna.
And today,
I don't actually know if we're going to use that one. So just in case we don't, hi folks, welcome back to Two Broads with your two favorite broads. I'm Jenna, and that is
Kayla.
Kayla Murray. Today's episode is very chill. If you can't tell
really
from
is.
any of maybe the videos Kayla's using of this, I got no freaking clue.
If Kayla has the time and energy to edit these onto TikTok, you will know what we're talking about. If not, just pretend you're here. Okay?
Yeah, no. It's a chill one, as in we don't really have an agenda, and it's more sleepover vibes.
Yeah, Jenna and I are just talking, and you guys are kind of a fly on the wall, and you can totally add your 2 cents in your car, in your room, wherever you are. You could be at work listening to this. I don't know what your life looks like, but just pretend we're all on a FaceTime call, like a giant FaceTime call, and we're
100%.
all in on it. So, you were going to say something before we started the podcast, and you're like, I'm going to wait till we record.
I totally was. And I'm not going to lie, I don't remember.
Oh, God.
No, it's already starting. No, what were we talking about? You were saying...
Wait, what were we talking about? Oh, Dr. Pepper.
Dr. Pepper. Okay, yes.
Sponsor us, please.
God, I wish.
Reach out to me, please.
I would save so much money if I didn't have to have a Dr. Pepper budget. Like, seriously?
Yeah.
It's bad. Okay, no, here's my thought, and I was telling this to somebody else earlier today. So you know how people always say that, like, the bigger issue when it comes to vaping is not always, hear me out, like the nicotine addiction. Don't vape, guys. I'm not here to promote vaping, I swear to God. But most of it, like, the reason why people have an issue is like the oral, like, fixation of just the action, having something in your mouth. I genuinely think I have accidentally given myself an oral fixation for, like, carbonation bubbles, because I won't even be thirsty. Tell me why I'm not even thirsty at all. I don't even, like, crave the flavor of a Dr. Pepper or a soda. I literally just want the bubbles. Like, I almost opened a whole ass bottle of wine right now in my fridge because I wanted bubbles. Didn't want alcohol, didn't want sugar, just wanted bubbles.
Just bubbles. And they're really great too. I mean,
I know.
And they're probably healthier than vaping. So
that's what I'm saying.
I don't think you should be ashamed. We're all here for you. And then we all say, no, you go up to the stand.
And we don't judge.
No, stop. Because my sister and I, we were just talking about that trend and how awful it is.
Why?
Wait, you and
why is it bad? No,
you and I can do it. And I think, you know what? Actually, she's frozen. Oh, she's back. You're back. Don't worry.
Frozen the whole time.
Also, guys, remember how we said, no,
I'm kidding.
I was like, I'm about to end this and restart it. As we said in the beginning, this is low budget, low qual, sleepover vibes. That means we're on our janky laptops, not our nice desktop computers.
Straight, like, 2017 laptop, guys.
Yeah. And so if at any point you just hear a really weird jump cut and we just stop talking and editing Kayla doesn't know how to fix it, that's why.
Yeah,
so
we lost the footage.
Just had to put that public service announcement in there.
Disclaimer.
Anyways, back to the we listen and we don't judge. You and I can totally do it, and I think it would be funny. The reason why it's awful is because some of these people, like some of these couples, say really, like, foul stuff.
Oh yeah,
like,
no, I don't listen to the couple ones because I get, like, secondhand embarrassment, but I listen to, like, the sisters or like the
fun ones,
the daughter.
Yeah, because my friend sent me a TikTok of someone we know doing that with their fiance, and it was kind of foul. And I'm gonna say one of the ones that she said. Okay.
Okay.
She said, if I'm cooking your food and something's been expired for like 2 or 3 days, I don't really care. I'll still use it because it's your food and you're the only one that's eating it. So if you get sick from it, it's just you and not me. And I was like, criminal. Put her in jail.
Okay, so like I was on board for the first bit until she said it's only yours. Like I grew up in a household in which expiration dates, they're suggestions. And this doesn't just like come from the fact that we like, we're gross. No, like both of my parents were in like the grocery business. One of them still is like for literally years now. So they're like, no, it's fine. Like you're like truly not going to die. It's okay. And so that's how I grew up. And so like we were the kind of family where like the expiration date on the lunch meat didn't matter as long as the lunch meat didn't smell bad.
Yeah, that's valid. That's valid.
So Christian did not grow up that way. Christian is like, if it is the day before the expiration date, he's examining the whole package because he's concerned. Rightfully so. No one likes to vom. Okay, I get that. So my listen and we don't judge, and he knows this, so it's fine. But sometimes if it's a day or two past the expiration date, but it looks good, smells good, tastes fine, I will still use it. But I don't just make him eat it. I eat it too.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Like if
you go down, I'm going down with you is my choice.
Exactly. And if I'm making something for just Keaton, let's say, and I notice that this is 2 days expired, I'll probably tell him, hey, it like looks fine, but I don't know if it's good anymore. Like, do you want to test it yourself? Do you want me to still use it? Throw it away? Like, because I'm not going to just put it in there because I know that I might be a little iffy about it. But like I have this, it's probably bad now because it's been a few weeks, but I bought this big, sorry, I had to put my Dr. Pepper down. Sponsor me. The sigh. I bought this like big tub of Parmesan cheese and just like shred, because I prefer like the shredded ones. I don't like the grated ones and the Kraft brand ones. Correct. Like I don't know. I want shredded parm.
I own both, but I do prefer the one you're talking about.
Yeah,
okay, continue.
100%. And I bought a big tub because I knew I was going to make pesto, and I make pesto quite a bit. I feel like we've talked about this before. And so I use it a lot. And when I make my pasta, like say when you're going to be sitting there for like 5 minutes, got it. Like, yeah, I use a lot of it. So I was like, I'm going to get a bigger tub. And then I opened it, and on like the seal, it says, use within 7 days.
Well, yeah, they all say that.
Yeah, and I was like, oh man, like 7 days? Like that's not a lot of time. Like I can't like that's like nothing. Like I need a good like 3 weeks. Like this is not like you need to change that.
Who's
like
going through that much cheese that fast?
Right. Actually. I'm like 7 is gonna turn into 27 real quick. Like really? I'm getting 100%. My use out of this. And so you know, I think it was the 10th day of having it, and I was like, I mean, there's no mold on it. Smells fine, tastes fine. Like I'm still gonna use it.
Good. Yeah.
Right. But that's like I get really scared with expiration dates. I don't know. Like but it looked fine. The moral of the story, it looked fine. There was no mold. There was no nothing on it. So I'm like, I'm still gonna use it. And if he wants something with Parmesan cheese, I'm gonna use that cheese because it looks fine. But I would never be like, ooh, there's mold in it. Oh, but he's just eating it. Sprinkle. No. Nasty. No. Oh, I'd be so pissed.
And
like, that's
is that
crazy.
What she said? But like, is that what she said? Did she say like, I'm picking off the moldy parts and giving you the rest? Or is she just like, the date says expired, and so I give it to you?
The second one.
Okay. So give her grace. She's not like cutting the mold off the strawberry and feeding him the rest.
No, but it was the way she said it, where she was like, because I know that it's only you that's going to get sick. Like, you didn't have to add that part, Queen. You really didn't have to. That's the one where I was like, And then all of his stuff like was tame. Really minor. Really minor. He said, if I don't want to do the dishes, I'll tell you I'm going to go read my Bible. So that's my excuse. Which is like so wholesome. What a wholesome little excuse. And I'm like, you know what? You're reading the Bible. Like, that's okay. You know what? Yeah. You have the pass. That's fine. You don't have to do the dishes. And hers are just like really out there. I'm not going to air out her business because if she listens to this, she's already going to know it's her.
Oof. Sorry, love. Just using you for content, not judging. We listen, we don't judge. Kayla
that
judges
trend
me
is
with it.
not for me. It is not for me.
See, it makes me so sad when I see stuff like that because, like, especially in that dynamic where she's just like giving very vicious information, right? And he's just like, well, sometimes I don't turn off the lights, right? Like, just like
Right.
little itty bitty stuff. I'm just like, man, do you like him? Do you like him? Like, I know you're
Right.
married or engaged or whatever you are, but like, really, do you like him? Or is the resentment starting to?
Because that's what I see in some of these
That's
trends.
what I'm feeling. That's what's radiating off of you right now. So Kayla has a story that she's going to tell both of us, okay? And I'm just giving you guys the same information I already have, okay? Here are the 3 big things you need to know. Kayla went to Texas.
Yeehaw.
Kayla had a cell phone.
Whoop, whoop.
After Kayla comes back from Texas, I'm getting messages from her email, not her cell phone number. And
From my
Kayla.
iCloud.
From her iCloud.
Right. So now, going to Texas, it's Thanksgiving, a lot of things to be grateful for. Going to Texas because boyfriend's family is there. Not all of them, but important ones are there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I have never met his brother and his sister-in-law, so I was so excited to go. And he has 2 little nephews, and I was like, oh, cute. We can see them. I can meet them. And he hasn't seen them in a while. Or the second one, he never met before because he was born when we were already out here. But I was so excited because, I've never met them before. And I'm like, oh, I haven't. And I haven't seen his mom in a while. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we go, I'm already excited. As soon as we land, I'm like, there's so many trees. I didn't realize it.
Wait, had you been to Austin before or no?
No.
Oh,
no.
That's a whole other layer.
Yeah. So my first time in Texas, keep in mind, this is my first time in Texas and my first time meeting a couple of his family members. There's first times going around, all around. Okay.
We love. But side note, I love Austin, Texas. When I've been there before,
I really want to go back.
It's so nice. I will go with you. Literally, like I don't have people like how do you put this? I don't have primary source people who live there, but I have like secondary or like third
primary.
source.
So funny.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I don't have like immediate connections, but I have like stringent connections that I'm sure would help us find.
Like plan A, not there. No. But there are some plan Bs and plan Cs.
Like friends of friends, mutuals of mutuals live there still that I'm sure we can figure out something to do. And I will gladly go back with you because I literally love Austin, Texas. Okay, continue.
So I go there, we land. First day, it's fun. Second day, we do this like pedicab tour that his mom actually booked for us, which was really nice. And we got to ride around downtown Austin and see a lot of cool things. And I didn't do a ton of research of Austin prior to the trip because I knew it was going to be more of a family trip. So I didn't want to get like my hopes up of seeing anything.
Yeah, a whole bunch of things you wanted to do when like you're not in control of your schedule.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
I'm just like I'm just vibing, and even his mom asked us a couple times, like, "Yeah, so if there's anything you want to do," and I'm like, "I'm really just here for him and to see you guys. That's all I'm here for." So I didn't really have any plans, but we do this pedicab tour that she had that's the same guy she's like used a few times for like other people who have come to Austin for the first time to do the tour, and she's done it herself. And it was really nice because it was about an hour and a half, I want to say, and he's like riding us all around downtown Austin, giving us some history. There's a lot of really cool like wall art there.
When you say pedicab, as in pedaling,
yes,
as in bicycle.
Yeah, and it's like the 1
hour and a half.
Yeah, but it's like he's the only one doing it, not us.
Well, yeah, no, I know that.
Oh, yeah. But
Kayla, I know you are not riding a bicycle for an hour and a half around a city you've never been in. I know that.
I wouldn't. And also like being there, now this is also off topic. I can't ride a bike. I cannot ride a bike.
Well, I don't know. I don't know anymore.
Well,
it was
like,
really hard.
It is hard. Like I can, but can't because the first, again, off topic, whatever.
It's okay. It's fine.
I think I've told you this, but like I didn't learn how to, or the first time I learned how to ride a bike, I think I was like 7 or 8 or something.
I was 10. I was fully 10 years old.
Yeah.
So it's fine.
Yeah, I was like 7 or 8. And then after that, I like kind of learned it. And then I rode a bike again when I was 10 or 11. And then between then and now, like I collectively, and I now have 3 bike rides in my whole life.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah.
So here, my bicycle story, since we're on this topic. I didn't want to. I had no desire, didn't see the point. Quite frankly, I don't want to fall. Why would I want to fall on the road? That sounds dumb.
Yeah.
And I had a Razor scooter. We loved my Razor scooter.
I was literally going to mention that.
Okay.
I was a scooter gal. Like,
why do
I loved my scooter.
Literally. Why do I
also
need to learn?
My scooter was Barbie. It was a pink like Barbie scooter.
Mine was the regular red Razor handle situation. But
that one was common. That was a pretty common one.
I know. We were broke. Okay. We didn't have extra money for the Barbie version. So, okay, hear me out. It's like Christmas, I think, that year. And I like got a bike for Christmas. And I was like, okay.
Oh.
Cool. Sat literally in the garage for like 2 years. Like I was probably 8, and then it sat there. And then eventually I'm turning like 10 years old. My parents like, you gotta learn how to do this. And I was like, why? What is the point? I have scooters. We don't go outside. It's hot. Why are we doing this?
Yeah.
Fully got bullied into like trying to learn. Like my mom like kidnapped me, put the bike in the car. We were at a park. Was not allowed to leave the park until I could like prove to her.
She said, "Yeah, I could do it. We paid money for this."
The whole thing.
Learn.
And now anytime we drive past this park, because we still live in the same freaking town, anytime we drive past this park, she's like, remember when I taught you how to ride your bike?
Trauma.
I was like, I think
my childhood trauma is at that park.
Literally. And so I like barely learned, like barely took the training wheels off, did it for a stretch, be like, okay, we did it, let's go home. Never wanted to do it again. I think like a month or 2 later, I was at my friend's house, and it was like all the neighborhood kids like went up to her house and they're like, oh, let's go ride our bikes around the thing. And she's like, I got an extra bike, Jenna. And I was like, fuck. It was about to be bad. And so sure enough, got a bike out, jumped on the bike. Nope. It was not, couldn't keep up. And I said, do you have a scooter? And she did. So we were okay.
Thank God.
Thank God. We did not embarrass ourselves. But obviously scooters don't go as fast as bicycles. So I was still... It was bad.
Jenna's working her ass off to catch up to these bikers. That is so funny.
Because they weren't just like, oh, we're riding our bike. They were like the bikers who like ride it standing up. I'm like, why do you have to be a dick? Like,
right.
I'm coming.
Like the Tony Hawks of bike riding.
Literally. No, I hate it. So
couldn't be me.
Yeah. And then I think there was one other. Oh, my brother. When my brother finally got to be of the age where like he needed to learn, they were trying to show him. And I was like, and then my mom goes, yeah, Jenny, you can still do it. Go show him. And I was like, can we? I don't know. So I literally stole his bike for like 30 minutes, like up and down the street trying to prove to myself. I was like 14. Fast forward. Okay.
She's like,
can I do this or not? I need to know how to do this. I'm not. So if you hand me a bike, okay, we could probably get down the street. Would it be graceful or in a straight line? No, absolutely not. So the fact that you were in a chair hooked up to this man's bike for an hour and a half as he's just downtown in between cars, crazy.
Strolling. But he did tell us, because he had a motor installed to give him assistance, because he still has to actively do it, but there's like a motor in it that could help with like the mechanisms of the bike, so that way it's a little bit easier.
Thank God.
But yeah, like no,
pounds of steel.
Yeah, because you could not catch me doing that. They had his mom and her husband had 2 bikes in their garage, and Keaton's like, let's take a bike ride. And I was like, you know what? That sounds so nice. That sounds so fun. And I was really confident in myself that I remembered how to ride a bike. I was like, muscle memory. Like, I got this.
It'll kick in.
Like it was supposed to. It was supposed to. Girl, the way I had to hop off that bike like 5 separate times, or else I would have completely fell over, is hilarious. I could not ride it in a straight line. I don't know how people do it. I'm like wobbling. Like I'm literally doing this, and I'm like mental space. Like I can ride a bike.
Lock in.
Yeah, trying to lock in. Could not do it. And like once I get the momentum going, super easy. Yeah. If we have to make a turn,
terrible.
No,
Terrible.
I'm just going to keep going straight. I'm actually not going to follow you anymore. I'm just going to keep going this way because it's really easy.
Yeah.
And I can't do it. So the fact that this guy's able to like pull people around that all day and that's like his job, I wouldn't be able to. But it was really fun. Going back around to the story, really fun, grand old time. Then that same day, later on that night, his brother and his family comes over and whatever. I'm like meeting them for the first time. It was a lot of fun. That same night, his brother and him went out to like this cigar bar lounge thing, which was good for them. So I was like, you have some bonding time. So then I was like talking to his mom and his sister for like the first time in a while. And I was like, like I need to make a good impression.
Yeah. Oh, I hate that. I hate when you get left alone without your partner for like the first time with their family, and you're just like, please, Lord, don't let me say something stupid.
No,
terrible.
and
It's terrible.
I feel like my social skills are just depleting.
It's
so
hard.
I was like, I don't know how to talk to people, or I don't know.
Especially people who are older than you. I feel like it's very hit or miss. Like there is like such a gap where it's like if you were in your 40s, like if you could be my mom, it's a little bit easier because at least I can see the resemblance there. If it's like maybe you're my older sister or like just barely old enough to be my boss at work, right? It's weird. It's weird.
Yeah. And I'm like, how much should I tell you because you are my boyfriend's family?
Yeah.
Like, can I be like super cool, Kayla, or do I have to be calm and collected? Like, I don't like, you know,
do you need
like,
church Kayla or Saturday night Kayla? I don't know.
Right. Like, I need to know what's the balance here. And so it's stressing me out a little bit, but it's fine. I was talking to them. And then Thanksgiving comes around, grand old time. And I knew that at some point we wanted to hang out with just his brother and his wife because Keaton was always like, oh, you're really gonna like her, I feel like you guys would get along. And I was like, I mean, you say that, but like I don't know what the vibes are gonna be. Like I'm sure like no matter what I will like her.
Maybe
but
I really like her, but she might hate my guts.
That's exactly what I was about to say. I'm like, I'm sure I'm gonna like her, but will she like me? I don't know, TBD, because we haven't really like talked to each other. And so it was Friday night. It was my last night in Austin. You know, I was like, the vibes are high. I took a nap before. I was feeling a little groggy. And I was like, ooh, like, I don't know. Should I go out tonight? But I know Keaton was looking forward to it. And I know his brother and his sister-in-law were looking forward to it too. And they're like, yeah, we could take you to a couple of these bars and whatever. So I'm like, okay, you know what? We're just going to go. I'm not going to, like, it's whatever. Like,
not going to overthink it. We're just going to full send. Yeah.
I was like, it's gonna be a lot of fun. And so I know it's a pretty chilly night, so I have like my coat, I have like another layer under there, and then I have a long sleeves. I grab my bag, I grab my phone.
Keyword phone.
And we get in the Uber, grand old time. Once again, we go to the first bar, really fun. I'm taking like a few pictures around downtown Austin since when we did the tour, it was in the daytime. So this was our first time seeing it at night.
Cute.
And it was really pretty. We hit up the first bar, and what bar was, I don't know the name. Oh, Mothership is what it was called. And it's owned by Joe Rogan. Yeah. Oh, I would have never known. But Keaton knew. And it was a really cute place. I had my first drink there. And then we go to another bar, and they had a speakeasy next to it, but we didn't know the code. Like we knew what to say, but they changed the code every week, and you have to like input it on the keypad. And we were like, our tour guide didn't tell us about a code. He just said, this is what you say, and they'll show you where it is. So we didn't have a code. So the guy was like, well, if you're really nice with the bartenders, like they might give you one. So we're like, okay. So we go upstairs to the like, I mean, it is a rooftop bar. It's not that high up, but it's up there. Immediately, his brother's like, do you know the passcode?
Said, I ain't beating around this bush. I want the key.
And we were kind of on a wild goose chase because at first they're like, you're going to find a fat guy with a white chef coat on and all this stuff, and he will tell you the code. And he's like, okay, got it. And they're like, I think his name is Matt or Max, but he's up there. I don't think this guy actually exists.
No.
Okay? He does not
No,
exist.
it's such a lie.
Yeah, does not exist. So we're like, okay, no code, but we get a drink anyways.
Mhm.
And we're like talking, and by the second drink I'm like feeling it a little bit, but like the vibes are still high. Like we're talking and I'm like, you know what, I'm really sad that I'm leaving tomorrow morning because I wish we had more time with them because they're really cool. And I was like, I'm sure after this, like I'll probably try to keep in touch with them because like exchange numbers, whatever. So then we actually got the code to the speakeasy because of the
From the chefs.
No, not from anyone who was physically there. This was a friend of his sister-in-law, like an acquaintance, more like it.
Awesome.
Vibes are high once again, and they have it. It's funny because they had it Halloween themed, but there were also still some like Santa hats around. So there's like quote
Nightmare
dead
Before
bodies.
Christmas. Yeah.
No, actually. So they were like dead bodies, quote, like hanging from the ceiling. And they had like these cool lights on, whatever, like very dim lighting, but it was like red lights. And then they had this funny neon sign on the wall and it says, their hair smells good.
Weird. Okay.
Like really random. Like the bathroom, what had red rum spelt on the mirror and in blood. And it was like pure red lighting in there. But it was like funny because it's Halloween themed, but then there's some Christmassy stuff. We're getting our next drink, and our bartender, they said, you know what? You guys have been super chill and super kind. Like, I'm going to get you Jello shots. And we're like, okay. Like, Jello shots. Yeah, it's like Jello shots on the house. And they brought two for them to take. And so we all were taking Jello shots, which was hilarious. It was so funny. His brother goes, I think they just really wanted a shot. And so they brought a round of it so that they could have one too. Because all we did was order. I mean, we were polite, but all we did was order. I don't know how we could seem so cool and chill and, you know. But we were there for probably maybe like a half hour, and they were talking about this restaurant that they wanted to go to because they wanted to go get oysters. And I was like, oh, I've never had one before, but I'm not like a big seafood person.
Yeah, you would not like them. I like seafood and I don't like them.
So I was like, okay, well, I guess so, because everyone else wanted oysters, and I think Keaton wanted to try it too. And I was like, you know, I'll get some fries, whatever. I'm like, food kind of sounds good right now. And we were out for a couple hours at that point, I think, just chatting it up. We get in the Uber, we get to the restaurant.
My brain still can't figure out how whoever suggested that went from I'm eating a Jello shot to an oyster sounds really good right now. Those are just not in the same category at all.
It was
but
more
okay,
like,
we love it.
Late night, we should try to eat something.
But
So
oysters? No,
I know.
what about like Whataburger?
I guess the oysters are really good there or something. I really don't know.
Okay,
I don't know if they're just like known for it or something. We get to the restaurant, we hop out the Uber, and I think all they had was outdoor seating or something. But we got there like 30 minutes before closing. So we're like, can we still sit down and like order some things? And they were like, no, you're totally fine. They were completely dead in there. So we sit outside, and I'm like, I want a Mexican Coke and I want fries. That's all I want. You guys can order whatever you want. We're sitting at the table. The oysters come pretty fast. I did try one. I didn't really remember until the next day that I did have one because I forgot that even happened. And then I was
trauma
like,
blocked it out.
Yeah, but I also was like, am I imagining this? No, I fully ate the oyster. Like I've had one, and she, his sister-in-law put lemon on it
hot
or whatever,
sauce and lemon, and
something. I saw her putting lemon on it. I don't know if she put anything else on that oyster, but I remember I tried it and I had it all in one go. It really wasn't that bad.
I don't like them. So, okay, I've had them both ways. I've had like the raw half shell oyster ones, and then the ones that are like slightly baked, I think is the word.
Oh.
And the ones that are not raw are fine. Like they're fine. I will have, it's okay. But I don't like, I want them. The raw ones, I can't. It feels like I'm swallowing a really big booger, and I like can't do it. I don't want it in my mouth.
Disgusting.
No, thank you. No, thank you. So I'm good.
Yeah, I had the ones that we had were just completely raw, served on ice, all that jazz.
I boogers.
Yeah.
Yum.
Oh, I mean, I can't even say I agree because genuinely I don't really remember.
You don't know. No,
I just know
oyster hater. I was completely sober when I did that though, so maybe not being sober is the key to liking them.
I was gonna add maybe it's just because the drinks were hitting me.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Nice.
So sorry, guys.
Yum.
So I'm just thinking about that oyster. Just kidding. I genuinely can't remember if it was good or not. But immediately after I had that oyster, I was like, ooh, I don't feel good. And it's because, and I'm pretty sure you know this, like I have that like weird allergy to alcohol. So sometimes when it really starts hitting my bloodstream, like I get major chest pains. Mm-hmm. So then I was like, ooh, I really, really don't feel good. So then Keaton walks me over to this like random place on the corner with like stairs, and I just sit down, and his brother was so sweet. He brought over like my Coke, and he was like, here, just for you to sip on it, and your water. And I was like, it's good, just like give me like 10 minutes and I'll be fine. Yeah, I was like, it'll go away, and I'm like suffering, and I'm like, oh man, I don't feel good. Like I really don't feel good.
I hate that.
And it feels awful. But then I was like, oh, okay, we're good. I get up and I went to like check to make sure I had my phone. Gone. She is gone. There is no phone in my back pocket. So immediately I'm like, Keaton, where's my phone? Keaton, where's my phone? Where's my phone? He's like, it's probably at the table. It was not at the table. It was not in my bag. It was not in my coat. It was nowhere to be found. So then I start freaking out, and I'm like, oh my God. And again, mind you, these are the first time I'm hanging out with these people. Like,
just slapping your forehead.
It makes me like the amount of times I apologize. Genuinely, I ruined our last night. And everyone's like, no, it's fine. Like it happens. Everything was totally fun up until that point, and it all went downhill. Like we could have really had such a great bonding night, and I had to ruin it because I left my phone. And I was like, it's at the bar. It's at the bar. And I was so convinced it was at the speakeasy bar because I remember I took a picture of the bathroom and sent it to my sister because it had the red rum on it. And I was like, whoa, this bathroom's kind of freaky. And I sent her a picture, and I was like, oh my God, I never picked my phone back up. It's sitting on the sink and da da da. And I don't start freaking out just yet, but I'm like, oh my God, we need to get back there. So Keaton and I are running. We're trying to find our Uber. He immediately calls one to go back. The door guy, I was like, we were just here. I think my phone's in there. Like, please let me in. So he lets me in, and I go in the women's restroom, and a lady walks out. I was like, I'm so sorry. Did you see a phone in there? She's like, oh, like, I don't think so. And so I look in, no phone. And I'm like, oh my God, someone stole my phone. Someone stole my phone. And so then I really start freaking out because I'm like, if it's not here, like, where the hell is it? Because
were you like tracking it at all? Like Find My Devices at this point? Or were you just like gut instinct? I know it's
gut instinct, because I didn't want to waste any time if it was in the bathroom, because it already had been like 25 minutes or something. So, and it wasn't that far. Like the bar was literally like a 3-minute drive from the restaurant, but it would have just taken like 30 minutes for us to walk there. So then I'm like standing there. I'm like, oh my goodness. A bartender talks to us, and he's like, what's up? Like, and Keaton's like, is there a phone there? Did you get a phone? And they're like, oh, no phones back here. And then I really am like, okay, I'm going to start crying. Like, I'm going to have a panic attack. Where's my phone? And then I'm like literally like leaning on the thing, and I'm like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And I'm like starting to tear up, and I'm like, where is my phone? And the thing on Keaton's like Find My app, like it kept saying like loading, and sometimes, and I think it's just his phone because his phone's old, and I have a problem with seeing his location a lot. And it'll just say like locating, and nothing shows up. So I think his was doing the same thing. And so then this really nice lady bartender comes up to me. She's like, what's going on? Like, are you okay? And she's like rubbing my arm, and like she's being so sweet. She's like, what's wrong? And I was like, I think I lost my phone here, and I don't know, like I can't remember. And I I think someone took it. I don't know. I was in the bathroom. And she's like, you know what? Let me double check for you. Let me see. And then she goes in. She's like, yeah, we're not seeing a phone. And the guy was like, usually people are really good about returning phones here because they know we'll always give them free drinks for it. So like if it's supposed to be here, it'll turn up. And Keaton's like, can you check the cameras or anything? He was like, not really. That's going to take a longer process. And I was like, it's fine. Like, it's not your fault. Like, it's okay. We go outside and then I'm like, I don't know where this phone is at all. Like, and I double check everything and I'm like, it's really not here. And if it's not in there, like I genuinely, it
could be wherever.
Yeah. Cause I'm like, I knew it was at the bar. That was the last place. And from somewhere from the bar to the restaurant, gone. Right. Mm-hmm. So I call like my stepdad and my mom and I'm like crying on the phone because I'm like, I really was convinced someone stole it. But either way, I was like, I lost it. Someone stole it. Like, I don't know. I do not have a phone. And I'm like in freaking Texas, like the farthest place on earth from where I live. Well, not. It would be worse if I was somewhere else.
Yes,
it was not. It was the halfway mark.
Like the farthest place on earth.
Yes,
ever. Yeah.
Either way, it was really inconvenient because I had to wake up early, literally the next day, and jump on a flight. So really not convenient. Really not convenient. So I'm like worrying them because I'm hysterical, and then I call my sister. She doesn't answer. I call Giselle, and I'm like, is my sister there? Like, can you put Katrina on the phone? And she's like, what's wrong? What's wrong? And I was like, can you check the location of my phone? And she's like, it's at the airport. I was like, the airport? Like, the airport? That's freaking 30 minutes away. Like, it's not at the bar. Like, what? Like the airport.
That's hilarious. That's so funny.
I was like, at this point, I was starting to feel so sick, right? I'm sitting down on this dirty ass street in downtown Austin, and Keaton's like petting my head. He's like, it's okay. Like, we'll figure it out. He's being so sweet. He's taking care of me. And I'm like, I don't have a phone. Like huffing and puffing, blowing people's houses down because I don't have a phone. Like my world was actively falling apart.
Yeah.
Like if the end of the world happened, it was Friday when I lost my phone at the speakeasy. Like that's when it happened. And I like it being in the Uber, it didn't register. Like I didn't think I left it in there. And I didn't leave it in there. I think it fell out of my pocket. Yeah. And it might have fell out as I was getting out of the Uber, but it's at the airport. And I was like, what the hell is it doing at the airport? And I'm thinking, oh my God, these people took my phone and now they're at the airport and they're leaving and I'm never going to see it again. And again, no thoughts with it being in the Uber.
They pulled off the heist. That's their escape vehicle.
The biggest con we've ever seen. Like I'm like, it was the bartender with the Jell-O shots. She is currently leaving downtown Austin, and so I am trying to get Keaton to like talk to his brother and his sister-in-law and tell them what's going on because this is my number one. Yeah, this is my number one concern. I can't do anything else. And I just feel so bad because I'm ruining the whole night. And Keaton's just like, it's okay. Like, we'll get it back. We'll get it back. And my mom, she thought of a good thing to do. It wasn't very helpful now that we think about it. But she turned off my cell service, which means because the cell service is turned off, we can no longer track the phone. Yes. Thank you. Thank you guys.
Thanks, Evelyn.
Yes. And I didn't know she did this until it was literally like 5:45 in the morning and I'm texting on my laptop like at the end of the night. But for the sake of the story, I'm putting in here now because she turned it off. So it was showing another location after that. But at like literally, I think within that first hour, she turned it off. And if she hadn't done that, I think we would have been able to get my phone back. But also maybe not because where we were staying was about 35 minutes away from where we were. Like we did not stay anywhere near that area. Yeah. So at that point, I'm like, this phone is traveling. Like it's nowhere where I can get it, whatever. And so, we're like, okay, it's probably in the Uber. So his brother's the one that called that Uber that picked us up. So he was trying to get in contact with her, and he said he was only able to send 2 messages before it like completely disconnected.
Oh, wow.
And Uber support, really unhelpful. Like, they said that they left something in that Uber, and tell me why it took 3 days for Uber to contact that lady. Like, at that point, because she was doing Ubers still throughout the night, someone easily could have took my phone and took my phone and threw it out the window or stole it, whatever. So anyway, we're trying to figure out next steps, but they already did the Uber support. So we go into the bar that's next to the speakeasy with the rooftop bar, but we stay on the first floor. And they're like, oh, I've already seen you. We don't need to check IDs. And I'm like, literally just like crying. Yeah. And they reserve like our own little room. And we go over there, and I'm like, I do not feel good. Like, I was just feeling sick to my stomach, and I was feeling like not quite nauseous, but I just like was sick to my stomach, and I wasn't feeling well, and I was getting really stressed out, and also I was drinking. I had 1 oyster, and just throw that in the mix.
Yeah.
And so we're sitting in this place, and we have our own room. And it's such a funny setup because there's like 2 tables, but it's like booth types. And then there is, for some reason, there's this little cutout in the wall that's about like hip level to me, with a statue of just shoulder up of Jesus and a bunch of candles in low lighting.
I love Austin, Texas. Have I said that yet? Because I do.
So it was family and Jesus, and we were all sitting there, and they had ordered a drink, I think, and ordered pizza. And they're like, do you want anything? And I was like, like, I can't even think about that right now. So I think they just get me a Coke since I had ordered that previously. And so I'm just laying down on Keaton, and I was laying on him in his lap, like on my side. And then I was like, you know what? Like, let me like sit up and turn the other way. So that way my back is like on his shoulder.
I'm so scared. Yeah.
And then I was like, ooh, I really don't feel good. Immediately, I just felt and so I like shot up. I plant my feet on the floor, and then I feel another and I run to the trash can, and I don't even know why my brain at this time registered that there was a trash can right outside the reserved room entrance, but I knew it was there. I ran there. Guys, I threw up, okay? And if you know me, I don't throw up. And Jenna knows this because she's like, oh, I feel sick. And then she throws up. I'm like,
all the time.
Yeah.
Kayla will hold it in like, until she's dead.
Even my 21st birthday, when you and I were feeling sick, I didn't throw up. No, you not didn't. Once. No. Because I was like, I'm just going to lay down and wait for this to go away. Because
Kayla was I vomited like 8 times in that bathroom. Continue.
And I can't do it because obviously no one likes throwing up. And I feel like when I say I really don't like throwing up, people are like, well, obviously I don't either.
No, Kayla has like level. Like
I really kind of do have like emetophobia. And so the fact that this was coming up, like I must have been like really, really sick. And I've only had 3 drinks that night and the Jello shot. I've had more drinks than that in other parts of my life. Yeah. And it never got me to that level. And I really think it was just like the anxiety and the stress that really,
like the adrenaline, that oyster, the alcohol, the oyster. It just was not. That's the title of the episode, guys. The adrenaline, the alcohol, the oyster.
Please, rhyme. Please. That is the episode title. We are using that. That is so freaking funny.
It is so good.
So my body just like had it up to here with me, and I just like threw up in the trash. Didn't throw up on the floor. Thank God.
Classy. Demure. Continue.
Like, I was so happy about that. I am throwing up. And again, I haven't seriously, I think the last time I threw up was like, I might have been like 9 or 10. I'm not even kidding. It's been that long. Wow. Like, it's really been over a decade, and I forgot how it felt. And so I'm like, I can't breathe. And I like every time I had like the smallest little break, I was like, like I just couldn't breathe because obviously it's coming up.
Throwing up.
Yeah. Right. And so, you know, Keaton like ran with me and he's like helping me. And like, since he's a boy, he doesn't actively know to hold my hair back. And so I'm like literally doing this and like holding my hair up. And I think he caught on afterwards to be like, oh, her hair is in her face. And I'm like,
his brain had also had 4 drinks though. So.
It did. And he was like rubbing my back and trying to help me. Yeah. He's probably like, what do I do?
What do I do? She doesn't do this.
Yeah. Like she's in labor having a baby, but it's just me throwing up. Like, no, the same vibes. Same vibe. And so I'm like, can't breathe. I'm throwing up. I don't know. I feel like, again, if the end of the world happened, it was Friday night. And so I don't know what to do. And I can't even tell if it's over. Tell me, you know, the funniest part about this whole night is this damn security guard comes over and goes, thank you so much for throwing up in the trash. He gives me a thumbs up. And I'm literally, Jenna, this is what I look like. I'm over the trash can and I just go, like, I just give him a thumbs up. I'm like, you're welcome, bud. You're so welcome. Because I totally had this planned out.
Oh my God.
Like, little does he know, I was losing my sobriety token.
Can I I'm sorry, that's so funny.
And again, this is Kayla's first time in Austin. First time hanging out with these people.
Oh,
round of applause. Yay.
Oh my God, Kayla Marie, dude.
And I just, after that, I walk in the room and everyone's like, oh, like, are you okay? Are you okay?
I hate that. I hate walking back and everyone clearly knows you just got sick all over the place. And you just like, hi.
Please keep enjoying yourselves.
Yeah, please
don't mind me.
Pizza. Don't mind me and my vomit mouth. Yeah.
And so they're like, you okay? You okay? And I was like, I will say, I do feel a lot better. And everyone's like, okay. Like, yeah. And then I'm like,
rally.
Yeah. And I'm like, guys, like, I have to tell you, I haven't thrown up in like over a decade. And they're like, right on. Like clapping. Like,
you.
Yeah. Like high fives, fist bumps. Yeah. And then like his sister-in-law was like, make sure to thank Jesus. I literally walk over to the Jesus statue. I'm like, thank you, Jesus. Thank you. And my throat was so sore because, again, I forgot how it felt. It was so sore. Like, I felt like someone just punched me in my throat. Yeah. And I'm like, and people do this all the time? Yeah. Like, what? Yeah. I can't. I never want to do it again. And after that, she's like, do you want a slice of pizza? I feel like some people throw up and they're like, I really want pizza right now. And some people are like, I can't even eat another thing.
That's so
she's great.
Iconic.
And I am so upset that I ruined my first impression, but it's fine. And so I'm like, you know what? I will have a slice of pizza. So then I started chomping down a slice of pizza, as one does in Austin.
Post puke, yeah.
Yeah, on a Friday night with Jesus.
Texas, yeah.
And then that was pretty much the end of the night. We called an Uber home. And then I was so out of it and so exhausted and my eyes were swollen. We immediately fell asleep. I didn't even take off my makeup. I didn't brush my teeth. I literally didn't do anything. I was like, I need to just go to bed. Like I can't even do another thing.
Over now.
Yep. And I knew that we had to leave for the airport like no later than 8 a.m. already. And it was like midnight at that point. And my parents, I know, are probably like freaking out, but there's no way for me to contact them. And like him and I are out of it. We're exhausted. So I'm not texting them on his phone. I'm just giving them like little minor updates. And him and I knock out for some reason. And we didn't set alarms, I don't think. Naturally, I woke up at like 5:30, 5:45. So it was more like a nap. Wow.
Yeah.
But I immediately jump on my laptop and I'm like texting my mom. And she's like, I haven't been able to sleep. Like, I've been so worried. And I was like, yeah. I was like, I'm back at the house and still don't have a phone in my hand. And she's like, okay, well, I turned off the service. And I was like,
Makes sense now. Got it. Thanks.
Got it. And the last known location was from like 4 hours ago. And we did go to that place the next morning. Like I think we left the house at like 7 or something in the morning, and I felt so bad. I couldn't help but apologize, especially to his mom. I was like, I'm so sorry that I had to rope you into this. And Keaton told her about the location that it said, and she's like, yeah, we can drive down there.
How far away was it?
From
where you were staying?
It was like 30 minutes, but also the airport was like 35, 40,
okay.
I think.
Okay.
So it was kind of, it wasn't actively on the way, but it was around that area.
Okay. Cool.
Thankfully. But she was up for driving over there, and Keaton was like, yeah, we'll just go there, knock on the door, see what happens. And we were hoping that that was the lady's address, and it was not. And we knocked on 4 doors, but only 2 answered. And both people were like, I don't know, like, this is an Airbnb. I was like, oh, God. Like,
yikes, yeah.
But the second guy who opened the door, he was actually really nice. And he's like, oh yeah, no, like we're from California. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm not even from here either. I'm literally flying back to Phoenix and now, but I lost my phone, and it said that the Uber was here, and he's like, yeah, no, I'm so, that happened to my wife, and like miraculously at the end of the night, someone had returned it and brought it back, and da-da-da. He was just chatting it up, and I was like, okay, yeah, well, I'm hoping that happens. He's like, yeah, well, good luck, and have a safe flight, and he's being so sweet. He was like this sweet old guy. But I left Texas without my phone, and I literally was on, because we had a layover in El Paso, so we had 2 flights, obviously no phone. When people
pass and all.
Yeah. And when on TikTok people are like, just going to be on this flight and just stare out the window for the next 3 hours
in my flight.
Yes, that's what I had to do on both of them, because I had nothing, and I had my laptop with me, but it's like, I'm not going to pull my laptop out just to listen to music. Like, no, we're not going to do that. So I was so tired that I thankfully did take a nap on both of my flights, which I'm seriously so grateful for, because I would have lost my mind. I really hate flying, because I'm like, TikTok, like, when are we going to land? Yeah. Like, I'm anxious. I want to get there. So that's pretty much what happened. And it's now Tuesday. So it's been Saturday, well, since Friday night, but it's Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Sunday is when they got Uber to finally reach out back to them, and I don't know if it was, there was just no information given on the family's end or the Uber end, but they're like, we're arranging a drop off, and I'm like, but is it my phone? And Keaton's like, well, it must be, and I'm like, well, anyone could have left their phone in the Uber. Like, this very well could be a stranger's phone that they're trying to drop off right now.
No,
like, and
like, what are you dropping off? Like, I don't
exactly. I'm like, where are the details? And I was at work, and I was doing a double Sunday, but I went home because I had a break between my 2 shifts, and I had like no more than an hour, but I was like, I'm just going to run home and chill for 30 minutes and then get ready to go to work again. And I'm glad I did, because then he was telling me all this stuff. It's like crazy how dependent the world is on cellular devices, because it really sucks. And any communication I need to do, I can't call anyone. It was so frustrating, because my mom was like, yeah, like, call T-Mobile and blah, blah. And I was like, okay, well, yeah. And I was just hoping miraculously a house phone would pop up in the kitchen somewhere. It wouldn't have. There was no way that could happen. But I was really hoping I could have a house phone, like a landline. Like, I needed one bad.
Yeah.
Because there was no way for me to make a phone call.
Maybe I do have one and I just don't know it yet.
Yeah, like, maybe it's just like in the junk drawer or something. Like, it's there. It's there. It's not there. And it's been quite annoying that I can't even make a simple phone call. Like, it's been kind of frustrating. Thankfully, I have a couple devices that I could use, but also because my mom turned my phone off, it completely disconnected from all of my devices. So there's no way for me to add my number again without it sending a verification to that number, which I obviously can't do because I don't have a phone. Yes, we're catching on. Thank you. No. So it's been really annoying. And like, I've had, like, you text, when I texted you that I didn't have it, you were like, yeah, didn't you get my text? I'm like, no.
But it's funny that that's the way that happened, because I literally had texted her maybe 30 minutes, maybe an hour before she reached out to me. And I was like, oh, like she just didn't see it, I guess. I don't know. But it's just funny that like you're like, no, I haven't, because I haven't had a phone for 3 freaking days. And I'm like, I just sent it an hour ago.
Right.
Okay.
Right. And I texted a couple other people and they're like, yeah, you know what? I thought something was wrong because you hadn't responded. And I could tell that something was off. I'm like, yeah, sorry. And all their messages are like not delivered and it just is waiting to deliver. And I'm like, yeah, I promise I'm not ignoring you. I just don't have a phone yet. And so they were able to figure that out. Thank God. Because I could not handle the cost of like the phone and whatever. Yeah. So, but tell me what this is.
Hang on.
Oh,
where is your phone? Are you getting back?
Yeah.
Are we getting there?
Okay. We are. His mom sends a picture, obviously not to me because I don't have a phone. No. But to their little family group chat.
For the 18th time. Kayla does not have a phone.
Yes. Just in case we're not catching on here. Just in case you didn't know. So she sends a picture in the group chat. She sends a picture, and I'm sure this was like helpful, but she sends a picture with the phone facing up, like screen up, and the phone is completely dead, but screen up. And I'm like, is this even my phone? Like, I can't see what and I asked Key, and I'm like,
doesn't help.
Like, what's the case? Like, is it, I have a sparkly, clear MagSafe case on it. Is that what is on this phone? Because I can't tell based on this picture that you've shown me. But I do have a nice little crack right on the top. And so I zoom in on the picture. I'm like, that's my phone. Oh, that's the one.
I love them.
So his mom shipped it yesterday, so it's expected to be here tomorrow, Wednesday, between 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. and I am very excited, but I have to go to work for my double tomorrow, so I have to, they're sending it because they didn't want it to deliver here if no one's home, because Keaton's gonna be at work and I can because it's like peak season. Yeah. All of my shifts are going to be 5 hours. So I work 10 hours tomorrow. So I won't be getting off the first one until 2:30 and my next one starts at 3:30. So that's like my only window. And so they obviously can't guarantee, okay, 2:30 delivery, you know? Yeah. So she was like, I just had it sent to the nearest UPS store, which is fine because it's literally right there.
Iconic. We love that. Safe, secure, chilling.
Tomorrow is basically Christmas.
So basically tomorrow the world starts again.
Yeah. Tomorrow's Christmas. Wow. The world didn't end. And that was my large, long, elaborate story about how Kayla is an idiot and had her phone fall out of her back pocket.
It happens to everyone. Do you remember in college when we were just like walking to go get Jamba Juice and my phone literally flew out of my hand and crashed and killed itself?
Genuinely, that is one of the funniest stories because sometimes I think about it and I just start chuckling because Jenna just got really excited and we were walking and it just flung out of her hand and shattered.
Yeah. Shattered. Not even just like shattered as in the screen cracked, like shattered, broke its whole thing. Wouldn't turn on, like green
pieces falling,
squiggly, whatever. Oh no, it was terrible. Yeah. Didn't have a phone. It was so bad. Was Kayla for like a week. And I'm in college. I have no money. How am I doing this? Right. Yeah, no, had no phone. Was like texting from my laptop. And I was also in a long distance relationship with no cell phone. Terrible.
Where, the cell phone is the relationship, like very much needed.
Literally.
It's really not fun. And you know what's hilarious too is that Keaton is very much like OCD about all of his stuff. He's like, okay, phone, keys, wallet, has everything. Yeah. Make sure he knows where everything is. All throughout the night, he was like, do you have your phone? Do you have your phone? And I'm like, yes. And he's like, show me. And I'm like, it's in my back pocket. This was the one time he did not ask me.
He said, I've asked her enough. She's got it.
Right. It was the one time. And thankfully, like I am really thankful it fell in the Uber and like no one stole it. But what I also thought was sus, and I'm like, okay, this lady had my phone for 2 whole days and she didn't bother to like contact Uber right away. Like, I mean,
maybe it like fell like onto the seat and then other people got in. It felt like maybe it was like sitting underneath her chair. You know what I mean? Maybe
I was thinking that too. I was thinking that too, but we also called it multiple times, like before it died, and it was fully ringing throughout the whole thing before it hit voicemail. I'm like, I feel like I would hear that, especially if I'm just like in my car and I'm not driving. Like, I feel like you would hear the buzzing, you know, but whatever. I mean, maybe she was like playing her music so loud that she couldn't hear
or just
anything.
like coincidentally, every time it was ringing, it was like somebody else was in the car and she thought it was their phone. Like, I don't know.
Right. So, but having my phone back, I'm very excited. I'm looking forward to it. And it has been really frustrating though, because I can't even, Apple Pay, I use it all the time. Can't really do that without a phone. Bank account, I tried to check my bank account the other day. I need to verify that it's me logging in by sending a text to my number, which I obviously can't because nothing's connected.
Yeah, that's terrible. That's terrible.
It's really annoying. Like, I could not check anything, but it's whatever. I would say that this is the biggest battle I've ever overcome. Living this modern technology dependent world without a phone for the last few days has been a great lesson, a great experience. Still wouldn't recommend it to anybody.
No.
Like the fact that you and I have done like that 24-hour no phone challenge, like that was already hard enough. Like I've been doing this since Friday night.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's crazy. So Jenna, you want to say what we're going to talk about next before we end this week's episode?
Sure. So Kayla originally, guys, okay, all this stuff happened with her phone, okay? And the text that I was like, oh, you didn't see my text message? Was me literally bailing on recording a previous night because I had to take care of my mother's recovering dog who had the quote was for $8,000 for emergency dog surgery. $8,000. That's not what she ended up paying.
Okay, good.
Not what she ended up paying. Do you want to guess how much she ended up paying?
I'm going to say $2,000.
$6,000.
That's still just as bad.
It's terrible. It's better than 8, but it's not good. Yeah. For emergency dog surgery. So any of you animal owners out there, highly recommend some pet insurance. You don't got it, because truly wasn't like, oh my gosh, the dog got into the rat poison. The dog ate all my chocolate ice cream. No, we were just like, he's peeing in the house and he hasn't wanted to eat his dinner for 2 days. Oh, poor Bubba. Let's go check. Yeah. Maybe he has a UTI. No.
That's what I was thinking too.
$6,000 worth of tummy gut problems they had to go sort out. So
Jesus.
Full emergency surgery. He's good now. He's running around trying to jump on things he's not supposed to. He's still got his belly is all like Frankenstein right now with all the sutures and stuff. It's really gross. It's really gross. But
my favorite.
That's why I bailed on Kayla for recording. But she said, okay, that's fine. The next time we record, though, I want to talk about, drumroll please, Wicked. Now,
Wicked.
Kayla has, I'm sure, more of a history with this play, whatever you call it. Play? Broadway play?
Musical / book.
Cool. I didn't. So she was like, have you seen it? You need to see it. I need to talk about it. And I was like, whoa. I did go see it literally yesterday. So we're good. We can talk about it. But all of you listening should know, I went into this. I never read said book. Didn't even know there was a book. Never watched the musical. I know nothing. I literally know nothing other than what I've maybe gathered from some of the ads and other people talking about it around me. Right. So I knew nothing, went in, watched it, liked it, thought it was super cute, super cutesy. Not until afterwards, when I'm scrolling through the good old tickety talk, okay, seeing all the little Easter eggs and behind the scenes and that I was like, oh no, this was a really good movie. So, and I saw it with 2 other, I won't say like diehard Wicked fans, but like they definitely knew their history, which I did not. And they like went in and prepped me. They're like, okay, before this starts, you need to know everything they're doing. They're singing live. And I was like, oh, okay, haha. She's like, no, you don't get it. They're gonna be running around and jumping on things, singing live. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. No, I did really like it though.
It was phenomenal. Like, it is seriously, like, okay, my history with it is like, obviously anyone who knows me like knows I'm a really big Ariana fan. Okay.
Yes, she is.
I made Jenna watch Ariana at Coachella way back when in like 2018 or 2019 in our dorm living room, and I couldn't miss it. Like, I couldn't miss it. And obviously I wasn't there.
Kayla had me learn a mini dance routine to an Ariana Grande song, and not only learn it, but also go to the top of the parking garage and
record it. Yes.
And then she also needed to use, I don't know, it was my camera or something, but she had a project for a photography class where she had to do like product photography. And what object does she use? Her Ariana Grande perfume.
I was like, wait.
When we say she's a big Ariana fan, no, we mean it.
Like, I'm an Ariana fan.
Yes.
And so because of how long I've been a fan of hers, like, I've literally been a fan of hers since like 2012 or something. Always loved her. And she was known for loving Wicked. Okay. And that's how I got into Wicked. And I've always loved the soundtrack. I unfortunately have never seen it. And it's actually they're doing like a Broadway tour, and they're actually supposed to be in Tempe, I think it is.
Oh, wow.
Like in the spring. And I really want to go see it.
You should.
So
Is
hopefully.
it expensive? Spendy?
I mean, for it being in Arizona, like, I would say yes. Like, I think it's like $100 minimum or something.
Okay, sure. So like, good tickets are probably gonna be like $3.
Yeah, like it's kind of, for me, it's pricey because I'm like, really, we're in Tempe? This should be like $60.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Like, I don't need to be up close. Like, give me the worst seat in the house. So because of that, I've always enjoyed Wicked. Never have seen it. Hopefully will, but that's been my relationship with it. And I love musicals and stuff, and like, I was a theater kid, so I love all of that. So when it was first announced that Wicked was going to happen as a movie, I'm like, wow, so exciting. When it came out, when Ariana was going to be Glinda, I was like, oh my God, going to see it as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Because one, that was something that she deeply connected with, like throughout her childhood. She's always loved it. So I'm like, this is so exciting for her. So it's exciting for me. And I have literally, as soon as they dropped like I think the trailer literally was just the, what's that called? The instrumental for good, I think it was. And then it just said Wicked on the screen. Like, that was it. It was like,
I don't remember any of this, but I trust you. I believe you.
Yeah, this was like the first trailer thing that they dropped. It was like really simple, and it was just basically like a logo reveal is really what it was. And I have just been waiting and anticipating for this movie, so I was really hyped to go see it. And I saw it with my best friend here, Claire, and my other good friend, Tess. And we're all Ariana Grande fans, but like Tess and I, like, we are like Ariana stans. Like, she understands the lore that no one will. I'll be like, remember when she tweeted this in like 2013? She would get it. Like she was there. She was there. Good. So it was like really huge for us to go. And I was like, obviously, like, I'm going to go see it. Like, we should go see it together. And I was, Claire wanted to go see it. So we made it into a little thing. We all wore like our matching Wicked sweaters. And I already knew that. And overall, the movie was just like phenomenal. Like, cinematography, these sets, like, they built a lot of it. Really the only thing that was like not even green screen, it was a blue screen, was the ones where obviously it's not practical for them to do that. Like the one scene where she's on their balcony and she's like doing that quick little dance on the railing.
Yes.
Like, that part of that was blue screen, because that would be incredibly dangerous. I hate to break it to you guys, but no one can actually fly. So,
what? Bummer. False advertising.
So when Cynthia or Alphaba was doing the flying, like obviously that was blue screen, but the sets, like they built all of that. Like that's crazy work and kind of unheard of. Like all the sets were built. The tulips that you see in the movie, they planted all of those tulips and tended to them and had like all of that was real. It's absolutely insane. So they always in their interviews, they talk about how every day that they came to work, it was like so fun because they were stepping into Oz, you know, and like in Emerald City, like,
cute.
and even the train in the Emerald City, like music part, that train is a real train.
Oh,
like that whole scene is
damn,
real.
what was the budget? Like
a lot. It was like $100 million.
Oh my God.
It was a crazy amount, but that's why I love it so much because I feel like they put in so much work. And I obviously sound like such a film kid right now, considering that's what I went to school for. But you know how some people are like, yeah, no, like it was a good movie, like, you know, but I'm just like the work that they put, the work that they put into that. And she's like, yeah, it was good. I loved it. I love the songs. But, you know, and that's why your friends are like, they sing live is because when in Defying Gravity, when Cynthia or I'll use their character names, when Elphaba is like flying around and doing all of that, she was singing live on set with her harness and everything intact, flying through the freaking air, singing so perfectly.
Wow.
Which again, unheard of. Like people don't do that. And she was very committed to doing all her own stunts as well. Like the both of them really wanted to be just like their character. Yeah. Like immersed in this role to the max.
I have a side note question. So Cynthia, I don't know her last name, but her.
Cynthia Elverio?
Sure. Her.
Yeah.
Great. I don't know how old she is, but I've seen the clips of her like in interviews and stuff. And she comes off very mature, very like, I don't know what the word is, but like I respect her. I fear her, mature, kind, motherly, whatever. Like that's just the like vibe that I get from her. And then I go and I saw some of those like clips of it before seeing the movie, and I see the movie and I'm like, you're giving like 16-year-old a little bit. Like like I feel like the age she was portraying in the movie versus like the age of how she actually carries herself did not match. And so like I was a little bit like thrown off. They're not saying it was a bad thing. I was just like not expecting it. So maybe some of that is her accent too. I don't know, but
I was going to say, I'm like low-key the accent. I know for sure she's in her 30s.
Okay.
I don't know where. I'm like, sure it's mid to late 30s.
Are their characters like supposed to be?
I mean, they're technically in college.
Okay.
And like I think they're, so I mean, they're supposed to be probably like 18, 19, I'm assuming.
Okay.
But it's funny because obviously everyone on that set does not look like they are 18, 19. Like they look young, but not that young.
Not that young, yeah.
Not that young. I want to add though, she looks so cute as Elphaba. Yeah. Like I feel like everyone imagines like a witch with like this big nose and scary and blah, blah, blah.
Because like from like the first like original.
The Wizard of Oz. Yeah. But they made her look so cute. And I was just kind of baffled because I'm like, how, like you're painted green, but you look so good in green. Like, like she looks so good. And like even her lip combo looks so good throughout the movie. Like I couldn't help it. And the freckles they gave her, it was so cute. They just put so much thought into this movie because I think they knew that whoever was going to be a part of this project. Project. I felt like I said that weird. Whatever. I feel like I was talking really weird a second ago, but whoever was a part of this had to really love it. Whether it's they had a personal connection to like Wicked itself, or they just really love what we're doing with the movie, whatever. Yeah. I feel like everyone had to want to take care of it like it was their child.
Oh yeah, 100%.
You know, like every single person who was a part of it. So I think that's why I really enjoyed it, because I feel like when people do that with a movie, it turns out really great. And there was no way that they...
And plus, I mean, it was how many years they were doing all this? Like 2.5?
Yeah, 2.5.
Years,
and I mean,
yeah.
and they filmed both parts.
Wow.
And some people, I don't know if you knew this. I mean, I definitely knew this, but there were a lot of people that were like, part 1, I didn't know. They advertised it as part 1 when it first got announced.
Here's the thing. I didn't know because I knew nothing. Like, I realized, like, oh, it's a musical, but like, that's all I knew. And I was like, oh, they're just going to do the whole musical. It makes sense to like break up a musical into like part 1 and part 2. Like, I get that. Fine. But like, Kayla, to give you a perspective, like how little I knew going into this movie, literally we're sitting there, the credits are rolling. We've watched the whole thing. My 2 friends who know lots about this are like crying. And I'm like, oh, we're crying. Okay. I'm sorry that we're crying. Okay. I wasn't crying mostly. Well, okay. Tell you 2 stories. I wasn't crying mostly because the moment the like clock library room scene was happening, I got so nauseous. I was that was kind of a lot.
Guys, I get nauseous playing like first person shooters if like my character is looking behind them but running forward. Like Kayla knows I'm a pukey girl. So the second that he's like dancing around in this clock spinning and everything's moving, I was like, I'm getting vertigo. Literally I sat there, I was like, we're closing our eyes, got it. Like it was
dancing
closing our eyes. Yeah, no. It was not good. And then what really did it is like as he or whoever it is leaving the clock portion of it, they like somersault and the camera like follows the somersault. And I couldn't. My stomach, since there, I literally pulled in this big ass thing of popcorn, which mind you, this was the first movie that I went to with this group of people where like Christian didn't come with me. And like kind of how this group started, it's like more Christian's friends than my friends. We've since grown, right? We're good now.
Yeah.
But I already was like, I didn't drive myself here. People are gonna have to drive me home. I'm like eating this big ass thing of popcorn by myself. I feel nauseous and like, nope. I'm suddenly having not as much fun as I was 10 minutes ago. I'm going to put the popcorn down, focus on like not throwing up. So it wasn't that I wasn't crying because I realized very beautiful moments, really, really great themes. I thought they carried it very, very well. I wasn't crying because I was trying not to puke. So don't come for me for not crying at this movie. But the credits roll. I'm sitting there. My friends are crying. Okay. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's good to do, whatever. And I like needed to like say something because they're like tearing up a little bit. And I'm like, guys, I told you I knew nothing, but like the way I fully thought they were like blood related sisters. Like I came into this movie fully expecting blood related witch sisters.
No.
And that's not what I got.
No.
And I was immediately like, I know nothing about this whole thing.
Yep.
So that's how blind I was going in. But I did still like really enjoy it.
No, it was so good. I cried. I have never cried that much over or while watching a movie ever in my whole life. I was so emotional, and also Keaton thought this was funny and he was making fun of me. And it is kind of stupid, but again, as big as big in the bigs. Oh my god. Okay. Big Ari fan. Correct. Is what I am saying.
Yes.
Big Ari fan. Big support for Ari. Have lots of feelings.
Many happy tears for Singer. Yes.
Girl, within that first 5 minutes, I was crying. All they said was, "Look, it's Glinda." All I saw was her sparkle in the sky, knowing that it was her bubble coming down. Immediately, I was like, why am I crying right now? It's so stupid. But I was like, this is so... Yeah. No, it's so huge. And it's just dumb because...
It's parasocial. We get it.
Like, it kind of is. Like, I mean, I'm not, like, crazy when it comes to that. Like, I don't know her. I don't know anything about her. But... like, I knew that I would be super emotional because seeing her on the screen was like surreal, and just knowing that this is something that she's been wanting her whole life was like, wow, like this is really her big moment.
Yeah.
A freaking sparkle in the sky, which is her bubble. I don't even know if she's in that bubble, and I'm like, oh my god, it's Glinda, it's Ariana Grande. It's so stupid, but honestly, like like I knew going into it I would cry. I just didn't think I was going to cry as much. But that ballroom scene with Elphaba and Glinda, like that one was so emotional. Like I was hysterical, like ugly crying, and I was trying to hold it in, and I just had tears like rolling down.
You saw like the like behind the scenes interviews stuff with that too, where like she purposely like didn't learn it to like be able to make
it real, and they put in so much work, just the two of them, like with what they do. And I feel like you know how people are making fun of them for like always crying in their interviews and stuff. I'm like, why are they always holding hands? I'm like, they feel a deep connection to their characters and to this movie, and like both of them find this movie really important to them. And I feel like because they grew so close during the movie, it made it that much more real during filming. It's like you can tell that there is that connection there. But I'm just like, I feel like anytime that there's something emotional going on and they make it super silent, like they're not using really any music or anything, it's like I feel like that always hits me because it makes it a lot more real. But it was also such a sweet moment. And obviously, I mean, if you guys haven't watched it already and you've been wanting to, it's been out for like 3 weeks already.
Yeah, go see it.
Like go see it. There are spoilers. That all the things that we're saying is spoilers.
I mean, like yes and no. Like we're talking about scenes and stuff, but you can see the same thing on TikTok. Like
exactly.
We haven't talked about plot things. We're not spoiling the plot. Okay, chill.
Or the Easter eggs for that matter.
No.
But
I now fully have Dancing Through Life stuck in my head. So good job on that one.
Such a good song.
No, it is a good
song. Honestly, the whole soundtrack, like I've been listening to it nonstop. It like, I feel like even if you're not big on musicals, that movie it's not like annoying songs. Like I feel like they're all fun and they're all really good. The only one I don't really care about is Emerald City. One short day.
Oh yeah. That's a lot. I mean, it's still good, but it's a lot.
But that one's very theater.
Yes, it is very theater. No, I liked a lot of the songs, and I do like on occasion get them stuck in my head, like especially after like a couple rounds of seeing the song on TikTok, kind of thing. I thought it was good. I didn't hate the music or anything, but I guess I've never been like a musical soundtrack. Like the only musical soundtrack that I've ever listened to outside of watching an actual movie is like the Mamma Mia soundtracks. Other than that, like I don't know. But that's just a personal thing. That's not anything against the soundtrack or the music in the movie. I do think it was done really well.
So good. I'm so excited for part 2 because For Good is one of my top 3 songs.
Okay. I was expecting that because again, when in blind, I know nothing. I was fully expecting that. Hi. Can I say hi? Okay. Your thoughts?
Just don't bark in it.
You gonna take my pillow? Come here.
Abby, what do you have to say about the new Wicked movie? What do you have to say to Cynthia and Ariana themselves? Thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it.
The judgment on her face, though.
Right. She's like, these no good podcasters. Anyways, soundtrack, great. Love it. But that's just me. I will listen to it front and back.
It was long.
Yeah, it was
long.
I know that a lot of people experience this, but a lot of people are like, when's the best time to take a pee break? Like during the movie. I ran out when I knew that they were going to do the Emerald City song because I'm like, I don't really care about that. No. I ran out because I knew that I could hold it in the rest of the movie, but I was still drinking my Dr. Pepper. So I was like, I'm not going to suffer through this.
Hang on. The theater that I went to, okay, I'm going by myself. Okay, just little old me. Christian's not there to hold my popcorn or my crap or anything, right? So I'm like, okay, gonna be big girl and brave. Big old popcorn. Gonna get a soda. What are we gonna get? Crispy, icy, yummy Dr. Pepper. Okay, pull up. I see this theater Pepsi products. Normally, not a problem.
That's okay.
Not a problem to have Dr. Pepper. If the lineup is Pepsi products, they probably have a Dr. Pepper in there.
Oh, yeah.
Because Dr. Pepper is like a rogue agent. It's always there. So I pull up. I'm like, okay, I'm going to get a medium drink. Big girl drink. Okay, not a teeny tiny little one. And he goes, okay, what do you want? I was like, oh, Dr. Pepper, please. Because we don't have that here.
I'd be like, well, go
You're telling
get it.
me I'm about to go into a 2.5 hour long movie
With no Dr. Pepper? My diet Dr. Kelp?
Criminal. literally criminal. No. So I panicked. And you know what I picked? I picked root beer, Kayla. Popcorn root beer for 2.5 hours. It's not what we wanted.
At that point, just give me a ginger ale.
That's what I'm saying. I should have. I really should have. But like I said, I panicked and I looked and I said, we don't want a Pepsi because ew. But they didn't have anything. So the only other dark option was root beer, and I picked wrong. So
that's honestly so interesting. But also, like, I'm so used to going to theaters that have Coke products, but they always have Dr. Pepper.
Thank you.
So that's a little weird.
Either way, like I haven't. This is the first place I've been to that hasn't had it at all, or even like a Dr. Pepper alternative, right? Like
like the Mr. Pibb or something.
Yes, the straight didn't have it.
Dang, that sucks. Oh, also, we were talking about For Good. I had a feeling that it was going to be in part 2, especially because Defying Gravity has really been like the big wham, the big whatever of it all. So I'm like, I was trying to look for another word, but I'm like, the big
focus? Big.
I was trying to think of a more like fun word, like the big wahoo of it all. Like what? Like, I don't know another word. The big finish, we'll say. Okay. Not a fun word, but the big finish of it all. So I knew that it was going to end with Defying Gravity. But what's really interesting, I just found out, is because part 2, if you look at the remainder of the Wicked soundtrack, there's not that much. Like, they literally would only have a few songs. Apparently, Steven Schwartz, who is the creator and did all the music for Wicked.
Okay.
He is or they already made it since it was already filmed and recorded. But there is going to be a few original songs on there. So I'm really excited because this must have been maybe some stuff he scrapped and was like, we can't fit it in there. And they're going to do it for this one. So I'm really excited to see what they do for that. And I'm just like, I literally can't wait. And the fact that it's still a year away is making me crazy.
When is the release date? Do we have it?
It's, I wonder if it's like November 20 something, I think. I wonder if they're keeping it as like the Thanksgiving timeline. I'm not quite sure, but I feel like I saw it was like November 20 something. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm so excited. And I've just been like, I want to get everything Wicked now. Like, I want to get a vinyl. I'm still planning to get the CD as soon as possible because I want to listen to it in my car. But I'm like, the Glinda dolls, I really want to get one of the Glinda dolls.
You saw the marketing thing that happened on the dolls?
Yeah, the QR code.
It wasn't even just the QR code. They wrote out the website on the back.
I did not know that.
Word wrote it out. It wasn't just a QR code.
Someone hacked the system before they printed that out because there's no. I don't know how
www.wicked.com. It's not the movie website. Just letting you know.
That's actually crazy, but
terrible. Awful.
Yeah,
someone lost their job.
But I'm really excited for part 2. In other words, and if you haven't seen it, go see it. And if you love Wicked, please tell us how much you love it. Tell us what your favorite song is. And did you maybe not, maybe I'm just like really all things Ariana right now. What? She went on the Drew Barrymore show.
No, I didn't
like just recently. Her and Cynthia did, but he's making that T-bone. I can smell it. Sorry. So it just came into the room and I can smell it. I'm so hungry. Oh my God, I'm starving.
Guys, Kayla just changed into a whole different person right there. That's insane.
I'm so hungry. It's not funny. Oh my goodness.
You have to keep that in. That was so good.
I will. But I just saw on Instagram during one of our little intermissions, and she wasn't given it, but Drew Barrymore surprised her because they let her borrow it for that show since they were filming with Ariana.
Mm-hmm.
She got loaned for that day the original like Glinda wand from The Wizard of Oz, which was so sweet. And immediately as soon as it was coming out, like Ariana like was like tearing up. And I'm like, that is so that's so sweet of Drew to like go like her and her team to go through the troubles of trying to get that loan. Because even, you know, the shoes are like, they purposely have the mismatched pairs for different of the museum so people don't take them.
Yeah.
And in case that gets stolen, at least they have one of the originals still. And I'm like, that is so huge. And like, and also The Wizard of Oz, I feel like for a lot of reasons, good and bad, is really like, that is film history.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of crazy for her to bring that on set and like have like our generation's Glinda hold on to that for that day. So it was really cute. I watched the video and I was like, that is so sweet of Drew. Like that is probably a really big moment.
Like that will be one of the like celebrities where like, you know, they always say like, oh, don't meet your heroes, whatever.
Like she'd be great.
She'd be great. I know she'd be great. But also if she wasn't, I would be very sad because she does truly just seem like the nicest little human ever. Her and like Kelly Clarkson, just iconic.
I honestly, I feel like if I met Ariana, I think she would also be just as splendid. Like, I feel like every video I see of her meeting fans, like, she always seems so sweet.
Did you see the video of someone just handing her their dog? No. Oh my God. I have to. I'm gonna have to go through my liked on TikTok and find this. There is a video, and I don't think she's in the US. I think I don't know, but she's touring somewhere. And like I know saying hi to people, and somebody just takes their little like Yorkie Terrier, little rat dog, right? And she's coming by and just
for a picture, so they can take a picture.
I don't know. Like there's like a barricade in front of them. They take this dog, lift it over the barricade, handing it to her, and she's like, okay. Okay. And she's like, calling us off. She's like, thanks for letting me have your dog. Can you take him back now? Like she did not know
crazy.
What to do with this animal.
I would be like worried because I'm like, what if that dog doesn't? Yeah, exactly. But what if it doesn't want to be held by me specifically, and it like scratches my eyes out or something?
But thank you all for.
We have some fun stuff planned. Don't worry, guys.
Me looking for the fun stuff planned.
Well, I'm thinking like for New Year's, I want to talk about So
what Kayla means is Kayla has some stuff planned she hasn't shared with me, which means we have stuff planned. So it's going to be so fun. Yay! I'm so excited.
Yay! Kayla has it all thought out.
We love it. We love Kayla leading this. So we'll figure it out. We'll get back to you. But thank you for tuning in to this week's episode. Kayla, any last thoughts before you take us away?
Just as usual, always give us a follow. Follow our podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on TikTok, though I have not been posting much because Kayla is busy. And this can be my little grace period because now you heard that whole story about how I lost my phone. So now you guys can be like, you know what? I'm going to be a little bit sympathetic here. Like she deserves a break and I appreciate that. So thank you so much for your sympathy. Send your get well wishes
to her phone,
to my phone that is currently probably in the air right now. Yeah. And that's pretty much it. And we're almost done with 2024, which is freaking crazy. So thank you guys for sticking with us throughout all this time, all of our seasons.
God, so many, half done, some complete.
What's that saying? And then this will be the last thing. That saying where it's like, I think it's like Jesus gives us. Wait.
You're asking me for a religious reference.
Do you know what I'm talking
about? Anybody from the peanut gallery?
No, it's not. It's like
Battles
Jesus
something. Strong soldiers?
No, definitely not that because he gave this one to me, not the strongest soldier. It's like Jesus something for the reason. Jesus is the reason for the season.
Oh,
And that's
my God.
now that I
Okay.
the thing is, so now that I said it out loud, that is not, I thought it was saying like something. Oh no, the one with Friends. It's like Friends for a reason and all the seasons or something. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Oh my God, because I was gonna say because of how many seasons we've had, I was gonna say like 2 broad seasons, whatever. It really doesn't matter because we are ending this episode because my T-bone is sitting here waiting for me to eat it. So I'm gonna leave. Like, we're leaving.
Bye.
Thank you guys so much. Have a wait for. Thanks for everyone listening. Wait. No. This is all wrong. There we go. I got it. Stop laughing at me. I got it. Have a good night, good afternoon, good morning. Good morning, good evening, good night. No, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. And we will see you guys in the next pod.
Bye.
I just had like a brain aneurysm.
That was scary.